Joining me now is Illinois Senator Dick Durbin, who has endorsed Vice President Harris's campaign. Senator, thank you so much for joining me on this day. I really appreciate it.
Good to be with you.
So you have spoken to the Vice President. What was her message to you? What did you say to her about the path forward?
Well, she asked for my help. She called me late on Sunday afternoon at my home in Springfield. She asked me to help her, and I said, I'm there. I'll help you any way I can. I want you to be elected the next president of the United States.
You know, Harris is obviously not formally the Democratic nominee, but boy, everyone is lining up behind her. So the message could not be clearer. And of course, the convention is next month. We're about 3.5 months until Election Day. Do you worry that President Biden made this decision too late to make a difference in this race?
No, history will tell you, Kristen, that when Dwight D. Eisenhower was making his decision, it was finally made around the 4th of July before the convention that nominated him for president and the election. And also, if you look back in LBJ's experience, it was a shortened campaign there. We have 106 days, if my calculation's correct, to wage this campaign, and that's enough time for a unified party determined to win to actually achieve that result.
How important do you think it is to make sure that you have a nominee, a running mate in place by the time the convention gets underway in August?
Well, I hope we can achieve that goal. The important thing is the transition from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris is going to take some procedural effort on the floor of the convention. I appeal to all my fellow Democrats. Let's do this the right way, but let's do it in a timely fashion. We don't want to short circuit the opportunity we have to win this election in November.
What do you say to supporters of President Biden who feel frustrated with the way, frankly, this went down, the fact that there seemed to be this pressure campaign by some of the leaders within the Democratic Party? Do you believe he was pushed out?
I think there was an honest effort to convey to Joe Biden, a person I consider a strong personal friend of mine for more than 3 decades, the reality of the political situation. This is a tough business. There's a hardball aspect to it. And at one point, he had to make a decision. He made the right decision, a selfless decision, not just for his party, but for his country.
Well, speaking of decisions, Vice President Harris now has the biggest decision to make, which is if, in fact, she becomes the nominee, who her running mate will be. Obviously, a lot of names have been tossed around, including the governor of your state, J.B. Pritzker. What qualities do you think she should be looking for in a running mate? And do you have a name who would be at the top of your list?
I would only offer a name if she asked me. This is a very personal decision. And the obvious starting point is you need someone a heartbeat away from the presidency who accepts the responsibility of office and does it in a way that is befitting this great nation. I also think when you contrast her choice with the Republican choice in their convention, finding someone with experience in governing who brings to this the kind of excitement and strength we need to win in November is critical. But by and large, this is a decision to be made by Kamala Harris herself.
And Senator, as we are speaking, we are watching Vice President Harris and the second gentleman arrive in Wilmington, Delaware, where she is expected to address campaign staff at her now headquarters. There she is, being greeted at the Wilmington airport. We'll continue to track that. And again, we'll bring our viewers any comments that she makes live. Senator, let me ask you about some of the attacks that she is undoubtedly bracing for. Republicans basically are saying they're going to pick up the playbook where they left off with President Biden, including on the issue of the border. She was obviously appointed to oversee the root causes of migration. At one point during the Biden presidency, we did see illegal border crossings reach their highest level. What is her defense, and how vulnerable do you think she is on this issue?
Well, she faced an extraordinary situation. It was a refugee problem that was out of control around the world, and there certainly were those who were exploiting it, sending innocent people to the United States in numbers we'd never seen. But there are 2 elements that should be remembered. Changes that were made by the Biden-Harris administration have dramatically reduced those numbers at the borders over the last several months. It's a step in the right direction. And secondly, a bipartisan effort in the United States Senate to provide resources for border protection and to reduce the number of people coming in there. A bipartisan James Langford, Republican of Oklahoma, inspired approach was stopped by Donald Trump, who said, I'd rather have the issue in November than a solution by November. Let's give no credit to Joe Biden. Let's not cooperate with the Democrats in any way. We had a chance for a bipartisan bill that could have made a difference, and I was prepared to vote for it. It was Donald Trump that stopped that effort.
Senator, finally, let me ask you, I'm sure you have seen the criticism from Republicans who say if President Biden can't serve another 4 years, if he is in fact dropping out of this race, that he should step down from office, that how can he justify continuing to serve out the remainder of his term? How do you answer those calls?
I think that's an outrageous charge. There's nothing that stops Joe Biden from continuing to serve as president effectively as he has in the past. Any problems that came out of his debate do not decide his fate in the future. He was elected by the American people, and he'll finish his term with the same kind of vigor that he started it.
All right. Senator Dick Durbin, thank you so much for joining us on this very busy and critical Monday. We really appreciate your perspective. Thank you.
Glad to be with you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.